Welcome to the Food and Travel Enthusiast channel. Today I'm showing you how I made my salted codfish with macaroni. There you see I'm boiling it after it has been soaked overnight to get out the excess salt, and I boiled it for about 15 to 20 minutes in some water, drain it and put it in some fresh tap water to let it cool. And there I'm preparing some sweet potato. I have basted it with some oil. I'm going to wrap it, put it in a 400-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 45 minutes just to make sure it's soft and ready to eat. We're gonna have it as a little bit of dessert after we've had our main macaroni and saltfish meal. And so there you can see I have about 3 cups of water. I put some oregano, some oil and some creole seasoning to boil my macaroni. And as you can see, we're multitasking. Now I'm back to the saltfish that I have put to cool after it has boiled for about 15 to 20 minutes just to get the salt out and to get the fish tender. And you can see that I am removing all the bones and the scale from the salted codfish. You can get it in your local supermarket depending on where you live. And so there you see I'm removing more of the scales because we don't want that in our macaroni dish. So I'm going to try to remove as much bone from it and the scales. So just watch as I take out the small bones so they don't get stuck in the gums. And so then once that's done, my pot is boiling for my macaroni. So I'm using the elbow macaroni in this one. And I'm going to be pouring what I think would share for 2 of us. And that's, I would say, about 2 cups of macaroni, if I'm estimating correctly. So you can upsize if you need more, but you'll need more saltfish. And once you put it in, you start to stir because you don't want the macaroni to be stuck at the bottom of the pot. So be sure to stir that with a wooden spoon or a metal spoon. And there you can see it's boiling, and I'm going to make sure that it's not stuck again, and I'm going to be trying to see if it's al dente because I don't want it to be too soft in my meal. So there you can see I'm using my knife to try to cut it, but it wouldn't cut, so that means it's not ready yet. And this is about 10 minutes in, and so then I gave it about 5 minutes more to boil. And I am going to let that sit while I still work on my salted fish. You can see I am trying to remove the fine bones that I didn't see when we were cleaning it up in the sink. So there you can see I'm just trying to break those apart so that when we're cooking it up, it gives my macaroni that great flavor that I'm looking for. So there you see I'm just continuing to go through and pick out all the bones. So there, now my macaroni seems as if it's ready. You can see I cut it with a knife and it cut right through. So that's about 15 minutes. And then I drain the water from it and I'll have it in my strainer. So to a skillet, I've added about 2 tablespoons of oil and a 1/4 teaspoon of butter just to give it the flavor. And I've added some cut onions, escallion, garlic, tomato, and some sweet pepper to that heated oil. And I'm going to just make those become translucent and to get the flavors in the pot. So I'm going to be adding some creole seasoning to that. You can add salt, but since the creole seasoning and the Old Bay got salt in it, I just refrain from using the salt. And then the saltfish is salted as well, so you don't want to have your meal tasting too salty to prevent hypertension. So then I added some chicken seasoning, that's the Mrs. Dash. So you know that one don't have any salt, so you can pour as much as you would like. And then I'm going to be combining those together just to get the seasoning all over my spices and vegetable. And so there I'm adding some black pepper as well, and then we're going to combine those just to get everything coated in the seasoning and to bring out that flavor from all the vegetable and spices that we have in the pot there. And then I'm going to just let it sit for a little bit and to steam some, just to get the flavors going, released from all the sweet pepper and the onion and the garlic, to highlight that flavor, and the thyme as well. So there you see I'm adding my salted fish that we were cleaning up before. And so then you're just going to combine those as well. You just let it sit for a little bit and then combine it again just before we add some mixed vegetables. So I have some frozen mixed vegetable that I'm going to add to give it some color and the crunchiness as well, and to get the flavors going. So once I incorporate my mixed vegetable, I'm going to cover it and let it steam for about 5 minutes. And there you see I've added the cover. I've added some sun-dried tomatoes as well. And then I'm going to stir it again now and add some ketchup. You don't have to add ketchup, that's optional if you don't want to add it. I like to have it in my macaroni and saltfish combination. It just gives it that nice flavor. And then I'm going to be covering it again for another 5 minutes just to make sure that my frozen vegetables are unmelted. And you see I added a little bit of water to give it some gravy, not much. But then once it's molten, then everything will combine well once you add the macaroni. So you cover it again and let it sit for about 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, then I'm going to be adding my drained elbow macaroni to the pot, and then we're going to combine those as well. And I didn't add any more oil or butter to my macaroni, because since I've added those when I was boiling it in the beginning, then I didn't need any more. As you can see, they just break apart easily. And then we just combine the whole mix, and then we're going to spice the pot up with the same seasonings that we used before, and we added some more additional seasoning to the pot as well. So there I'm starting with my creole seasoning, and you're just going to use that lightly since it's salty and the saltfish is salty. And then I'm adding some black pepper to that just to make sure the colors and the flavors align well. And I'm going to be adding my Mrs. Dash chicken seasoning. If you have fish seasoning, you can use that as well. I just use what I have in my cupboard to bring out the flavors in my meal. So you can add lightly. And then I'm going to be adding some ground cumin as well for the smoked flavor. It just kind of uplifts the dish some more, and a little smoked paprika as well for color and for flavor. And then we're going to combine the whole mixture after I've added my fish and meat sauce to it. And then we will just combine the whole mixture. Be sure to give this a proper stir so that all the macaroni and the fish and everything gets coated with the seasoning. If you like what you see here and you want to get more videos, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, leave a comment below. Let me know where you're watching from and how the dish turned out for you. If you could just smell the goodness here in the kitchen, be sure to get all the ingredients. And thank you so much for watching. And so there is the finished product. And then I'm going to be showing you what I did with the sweet potato that has been going for about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm trying to remove the skin. And I just have this like a little dessert. You can always add ice cream with it if you would like. I'm just going to be removing the skin. As you can see, I'm going to be cutting it up in concentric way, and then I'm going to be adding some butter and some cinnamon powder and some brown sugar. And once those are melted, then I'll just add that to my dish. So there you have it. And then now I'm going to be putting my sugar like I said before, and I am going to be putting my ground cinnamon. So now my meal is finished, and I'm going to be plating it for you guys so you can see what it looks like. And I'm just filling up my bowl to how much I know I will consume. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.